What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your man ChazzEllis once again answering the question that you asked me. If you want to get a consultation or if you want to get a quick question, you want to ask me something, learn a little bit more, something private, or if I'm also giving people dating advice like, line by line, whatever you need. So make sure you check that out on the ChazzEllisProject.com if you want to get any of those things. Also, hit me up on AskChazzEllis on Facebook because I'm on there also. And you can also hit me up on Twitter too. For some of y'all hit me up on Twitter, you can do that too. Anyway, I'm broadcasting from a little pillow pit right now. I like to relax here from time to time. A question that somebody gave me in the live stream that I did last night was, what do women do to turn good guys into players? And I thought that was a really good question because a lot of people wonder, how do players come about? How are players, and I'm going to do one for men too, and how men turn women into players. But a lot of people ask a question like that, like, why is it? How do these players come about? How do they become the kind of people that they are? Well, the thing is, nobody's born a player. Nobody's born like coming out of the womb like, yo, girl, let me smash real quick and pay my rent. No one comes out of the womb like that, okay? No one's born a player. Everyone is pretty much born what you would consider a nice guy. Most people are hopeless romantics from birth because that's what they're taught. When you're a kid, you're a young man, your mom or your dad, somebody takes you aside and they give you a whole speech about respecting women, treat women like queens and, all that kind of thing. That's pretty much what most guys go into the world thinking and go into the world believing. Now, somewhere along the lines, for some guys it's earlier than others, but somewhere along the line, a guy kind of gets his heart broken and he kind of sees a lot. He sees certain things. For me, I remember I was in elementary school. It was Valentine's Day. I made this girl this big old heart. She basically threw it on the ground, stepped on it, was like, I don't like you, and just basically talked trash to me, called me all, basically was calling me ugly and stuff. It kind of stung a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Now, and a lot of guys have similar stories where certain things like that happen. That was one of the first things to kind of open my eyes to how situations worked. Now, anyway, when you look at a lot of guys, what happens is they start out really hopelessly romantic. Oh, I'm going to buy her this, and I'm going to do this for it, I'm going to do that for it. Oh, I'm going to write her poems and stay outside of her home and sing her songs and things of that nature. This is how a lot of guys are from day one. And as they get older, different people have different heartbreaks, different kinds of rejections and things like that. But as most guys get older, what happens is by the time you hit high school, if it didn't already happen in elementary school or middle school, by the time you get in high school, you start noticing something. You start saying, wait a minute. Why is it that no matter how hard I try to get girls, if you're still thinking that way by then, why is it that no matter how hard I try to get girls, or try to get some woman to be with me, I want a girl to be with me, I want a girlfriend, I want to be faithful, all of this. This is my dream, this is what I'm believing in, this is what I want to do. Why is it no matter how hard I do that, girls still continue to date this captain of the basketball team dude who treats them like dirt? Why is it they still date the cool guy who treats them like crap and cheats on them and is talking to 5 or 6 other girls? Why is that? Why are they not dating me? Why are they not giving me a chance? So somewhere along the line in high school, a lot of guys say, okay, well, I guess I'm going to be a jerk, and that's how I'm going to be able to get girls. Of course, that doesn't work for most dudes, and they go back to basically being the way they used to be again. But it starts a cycle in their mind. They start saying, man, dang, what is it? Why is it that these guys get all the girls and I don't? Now, what you see with some guys is, here's kind of a scenario. You take a guy, he tries to talk to girls in high school, maybe even gets a girlfriend or two, but a lot of guys already know this story. They dump you for somebody that's more popular or something like that. Maybe, might have been through something like that. So say he goes through that. He's a nice guy in high school, sweet guy, cares about women a lot, treats them pretty well. But he happens to be a little on the chubby side. He happens to also be a little bit on the shy side. Maybe he doesn't wear the best clothes. So, high school goes by, doesn't really get too many girls. College goes by, not too well either. He graduates from college. All of a sudden he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my life together. He starts working out. He's got a good job from the fact that he went to college and got a good education. He starts looking good, feeling good about himself, dressing better. Everything starts to come together for this guy. All of a sudden, girls that didn't used to talk to him before start coming at him, left and right. Hey, you're really cute. Hey, you look good. Hey, wow, you're looking like you're in really good shape. Oh, nice car. Things like this. This is how girls start coming at him. He goes out on a few dates with some of these girls, and he starts realizing that where he had to do all of this stuff before in the past just to get a girl to go out on a date with him, now it's all about just saying, hey, you want to go out? And she's like, yes, I'm down. Pretty soon he starts thinking to himself, you know what? Wait a minute. I get it now. The reason why that other guy got so many girls when I couldn't even get one no matter how hard I tried, the reason why all those girls put up with so much crap from this guy and girls dumped me no matter what I did for them was because he had options. He had options. This guy was in a situation where a lot of girls liked him. So what guys start understanding and start believing is, wait a minute, it's not about how I treat you. It's about how I treat me. It's about how I look. It's about my the way I carry myself, the clothes I wear, the way I talk, the game that I have. It's about that. It doesn't matter how I treat you. It's about me doing what it takes to have options. And this is where a player is born. This is where you took a nice guy and turned him into a player. Because over his life, he has realized that, you know what, no matter what I do for women, it doesn't matter if I don't look the part. It doesn't. Let's be real. There's a lot of nice guys in the world. But women are dating players because players, and I don't blame them, don't get me wrong. I don't blame them. Because players are the people that women want. That's why that person is able to be a player. Because he's good looking. Because he's smart. Because he's funny. Because he's got game. Because he's got the nicest clothes. Because he's got a good job. Things of that nature. This dude is able to be a player because he's in demand. But what that does to a guy is it makes him feel like, you know what? No matter what I do for you, it really doesn't matter unless I have these other girls on deck to make sure that you do what I want you to do, to keep you honest. What a guy starts realizing is when you got multiple women coming at you, it makes a sense of urgency for the female that tries that wants to be with you or that you might want to be with at that time. It creates a sense of urgency. It used to be a time where the guy might be like, hey, I was just wondering if you would like to go out sometime, because he didn't really have girls on deck and you were like the only girl that he was interested in. But you might have played him off. Be honest, be real. You might have played him off like, oh, well, I'll go out with you sometime, I guess, Don't worry, we'll find some time to go out. But now say you're dealing with a dude that's got a lot of options. He's like, look, it's Thursday night. I got Saturday open if you want to hang out. A lot of girls may say, oh, I wouldn't go for that. But when that's the only option to be with a guy who's got options, to be with a good-looking, smart, funny guy, what do you expect? Of course the girl's like, because if you don't say yes by Friday night, Saturday, by the time you hit him up on Saturday, he's like, oh, well, I changed my plans because I didn't think he was going to come. So the sense of urgency is there. This is how come guys become players, because they start realizing that being a player creates a sense of urgency. When you got multiple women on deck, it makes it easier for you to talk to women because you're not worried about it. If she says no, okay, let's go over to the other 10 girls that I got in my rotation. And it gives you, so it makes it easier for you to be able to have that confidence. Also, because you got multiple women on deck, you're constantly practicing your ability to talk to women. So this is why it's so easy for women to deal with players, because players have all of these things going for them, and it turns other guys into players because they see that players have these things going for them. There are a bunch of nice guys out there. You go to a middle school, 90% of the dudes there are nice. By the time you get to be 22, 23 years old, now you're down to about 25%. Because guys are like, you know what, I'm not going. And even when you deal with guys who are of the upper echelon in middle school, high school, where you're a good-looking dude, you play sports and stuff like that, You got different things going for you. A lot of those guys become players for this reason. When you look at the situation, you say, man, that guy is really nice to that girl, and he just dissed her for me. I've been on both ends of it. I've been the dude that got dissed before, and then, you know, I filled out a little bit. Things start going a little bit better for me a little later in my high school time. And, you know, I've been the person that a girl has left another guy who was treating her really well for me when I had girls on deck. You know, and I'm like, wow, it really doesn't matter. You know, it just matters who you are and what you have going for you. This is where the player is created. It makes the guy basically say, you know what, I could get these girls, and that's why they all following around me. They don't really care about me so much, or it doesn't matter what I do for them. It's all about me and how I look, how smart I am, how funny I am, what I have going for me. This is the things that turn a nice guy into a player. He might have just been a nice, good-looking guy at first, but then when he saw how women treated the dude that wasn't so on point, that wasn't so cool, it kind of turned the guy into a player because he was like, hey, I'm not going to give these girls a chance to do that to me. I'm going to keep my options open. So that's where the turn happens. That's where the change happens. Guys are born nice guys. They're taught by their parents to be nice guys. But life teaches them that basically, if you don't have options, you're going to get mistreated. If you don't have anything going for you or enough going for you, you're going to be left behind. And this is basically how guys feel, and this is how they become players. Some of you guys, give me your player story also, you know, and talk about, you know, if you went through a stage or whatever where you're a player, or if you still are. Give me some of your player story. Let people know what's up. Put that down at the bottom. Also, make sure you go to the ChazzEllisProject.com and AskChazzEllis also. And make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else. Peace.